Before we get into this episode, there's something that might be of interest that I wanted to tell you about. Scene and Heard, who run this podcast, have been asked by Scotland Food and Drink to undertake a strategic review of the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards. Now, these Excellence Awards have been going for almost 20 years and are a huge mainstay of the food and drink sector. But it's time to ensure that they're still relevant. So if you have ever been involved in the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards, or even if you've ever had an opinion about them, we would love for you, please, to complete our survey. So if you go to the On Farm Twitter, which is at @on_farm UK, and click the link in the bio, there will be a tab in there that will take you to the survey, and it should only take you a very short while to complete, but we would be enormously grateful.
Thanks for joining us for our latest episode of On Farm, the Food, Agriculture and Rural Matters podcast. This is Monty with you this time. This episode is the latest in our series about farm visits and experiences close to Scotland's biggest cities. We've worked on this episode once again with our partners at Go Rural Scotland, and the focus this time is Glasgow. We've got 4 fantastic farm locations, all within easy reach of Scotland's biggest urban centre, and all showcased here as part of the Go Rural from Glasgow campaign.
Looking down onto the reservoir is beautiful, so you can see from your hot tub there, you can lie back and just gaze out at the water.
You might see people turning the cheese and rubbing them down, and the cheese sort of lives in here for around about a year before we sell it.
And we use a lot of old-fashioned methods to make the gin liqueurs as well. You can see them infusing with fruits in the jars, and there's always something different on the go.
We're just actually above the waterfall, but we're going to cross above the waterfall in the Polaris just now, and we'll
I was just going to say, it looks like you're going into the river. You are going into the river. You actually
sit tight. We are going in.
We are actually in the river. Okay.
Go Rural's aim is to get thousands more people living in Scotland's towns and cities to visit farms and crofts. For this episode, I'm going to hand you over to Glasgow-based radio producer Leanne Coyle, who has been doing all the exploring on our behalf.
Well, you wouldn't think you're only 10 miles from Glasgow here. The first farm I'm coming to see today, Craigmaddymuir, a farm that has a very special form of accommodation. I'm going to find out more about it. It's called the Roundhouse. I'm going to pull into their driveway. I can see Gordon and Susie are waiting for me. How lovely. And it's just outside Mulgai. I've come from the south side of Glasgow. It's taken me about half an hour to get here. And it's just glorious. It's just glorious. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi, pleased to meet you. I'm Leanne.
Yeah, I'm Gordon and this is
Susie. Welcome to Craigmaddymuir.
Oh, thanks very much. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't believe that we're so close to Glasgow. I mean, you can see it in the distance.
There are great views from here. Because we're up so high, you get a great view over the city.
Drive up this track about 80, 100 yards and then through the metal gates on your left and then drive along.
Your own private car park along there next to the Roundhouse.
Lucky old me. Okay, I'll catch you up there.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you in a minute. Bye.
Okay. So now I'm on a dirt track heading along towards the Roundhouse. Now I can only imagine this is round. Oh, I can see it nestled in some trees. It's almost part of the little forest around it. Wow. Okay, let's get a closer look. Well, Gordon and Susie, this is absolutely beautiful.
The view is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, so tell me a bit more about the view then. I can pick out, I could see Glasgow University away in the distance.
You can make out the tower at the university there. When you drove in, you were obviously at quite an elevated position, so you had a great view, but up here at the Roundhouse, we're up a level again, so the view is even better. And looking down onto the reservoir is beautiful, so you can see from your hot tub there, you can lie back and just gaze out at the water.
Tell me, what is the Roundhouse?
It has a boutique hotel feel. It's high-end, luxury, romantic accommodation for two.
Secluded
it's
accommodation.
Secluded, it's very private, it's very beautiful. It's magical actually, it's just a very special place to be.
Yeah.
Well, let's get closer. And Gordon, I hear you generally are the one that shows people around, so can you show me around?
Yeah, certainly. So here we have, let's walk along.
Yeah, walk along the path here. So you've got a lovely wee private path here. We'll walk along from the car and let you have a look. We always show guests the exterior first because everybody wants to see the hot tub.
This is actually a new hot tub. This hot tub is off grid. It's just got a wee pump and it keeps the temperature of the hot tub at a constant 40 degrees.
Wow. Sounds lovely. I wish I was staying here tonight, sadly not. So, how long have you been living here? And you are a working farm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, tell me about that and then why you decided to build it.
Gordon grew up here in the house next door. And we toyed with the idea of having holiday accommodation here because the views are just outstanding. And when friends and family come, they say, "Oh, you're so lucky staying here."
We had to complement our farm income with something, so we decided to look into the accommodation side of things, and that is how the Roundhouse started.
And we were determined we were not going to follow suit and do your typical glamping wigwams, 4 buildings in a row with no privacy. And
yeah, I've stayed in many a glamping site, I can tell you, and this does not say glamping to me, not at all. Actually, what this says is Ben Fogle's New Lives in the Wild.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's really good.
You wouldn't mind a visit from Ben?
No, I'm not. I wonder what he's up to.
Okay, thank you. Woo! Wow.
Look at that.
It's much bigger.
Yeah, that's what
it's much bigger on the inside.
A lot of guests don't realise how big it is, and it's very hard to get the perception of how big it is from the photographs.
It's quite a lot to take in, isn't it? Because it's just so light, so lovely and warm. It's so well finished. Like you've got all this lovely furniture, the wood stove sort of standing, a standalone wood stove.
Yes.
A fully fitted kitchen, but of course it's all round it. It's called the Roundhouse, and the bed.
Because the interior is obviously wooden as well, it gives you a really nice feel and actually a nice smell. There's a nice smell to the wood as well.
I've noticed
It's
that.
a really nice, relaxing feel. Yeah. The designer has done a very good job. This whole kitchen here is actually built on the curve. So the kitchen isn't just a square kitchen plonked into a round building. The whole kitchen is round.
It's a work of art, actually.
It's a work of art.
It's a floating kitchen, so it's
the
quite
worktops curved, all the cupboards. I mean, it is a work of art. He's really done a spectacular job. We actually had guests in last weekend, and one of our the ladies' highlights was to lie in the bed and looking at the ceiling, because everything in the ceiling.
Really looked up. Yeah, I was going to say So tell me a bit about the ceiling.
Well,
paint us a picture for people.
Again, it's all the geometry. How he's managed to get all these different planks.
It was very difficult for him to design and build, wasn't it?
Yeah, all these different planks all into place, all wide at the bottom and narrow at the top, and they all fit perfectly. There's no gaps. And lots of guests comment and look at the wonderful ceiling.
Well, it's maybe hard to pick up just now, but you can hear bird song. It's that time of year, spring. There's beautiful bird song, and it's just a lovely.
It's idyllic.
It's an opportunity to just have a total digital detox, switch off, be with the one that you love, and just relax.
We specifically don't have a television in it. We don't have super fast broadband. Again, recent guests sat in the hot tub and they were blown away because a young roe deer walked past about 15 feet away, and they were just utterly blown away. If they're not used to any of this, if they're used to city
even if you are used to it, I mean, I do the changeovers at the Roundhouse, and I often see deer, and it just makes you stop and stare. And
yeah, I mean, I'm getting that sense. Even just being here, I can feel this sort of de-stressing as I'm standing here. So if people want to find out more about the Roundhouse and coming to stay and availability and all that, how do they do that?
Our website is craigmaddymuir.co.uk. On that you will see an availability calendar, and you can book direct by either emailing us at info@craigmaddymuir.co.uk or by phoning us.
There's also a book now button which will take you to Airbnb if that suits you.
Brilliant. Well, listen, I know you're working farmers, you've got to get on, so I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to get on to the next farm, see what they have to offer. Thanks so much, and it was lovely to meet you both.
Thanks for coming. It was great to meet you.
Thank you very much for coming. Yeah.
Well, that's me arrived at my second destination. I'm at Walston Brayhead Farm. And the reason I'm here is because they make cheese. And I love cheese. It's Errington Cheese is the name of their business. So it's a working farm. They've got dairy goats, dairy sheep. They have right in front of me a cheese shop, which is absolutely brimming with wheels of cheese. And I really hope I'm going to get to taste a bit of cheese today. That would be amazing. It's a busy place. It's quite buzzing, actually. There are people around. There's people that work here, help making the cheese. There's a team of people that do it. It's a pretty blustery old day today. It's freezing as well, but the prospect of getting some cheese is making me happy. Hi, I'm Leanne. Pleased to meet you.
Hi there, I'm Selena from Errington Cheese. You found us okay. We're just below the Black Mount outside Ellsrickle.
I did, yeah. Well, it was about 40-minute drive or so where I was.
45 minutes from the centre of Glasgow and about 45 minutes from the centre of Edinburgh, really, depending on traffic a little bit. So,
can you just tell us what we're looking at, what these hills are?
So we're looking at the end of the Pentland Hills up towards the east, and then west you're looking over Lanarkshire, and then we've got the pigs at the front here. And then there's some sheep just behind you, behind the trees there.
Great.
Where you came in.
And they are key because obviously you make cheese.
Yeah, so they're dairy sheep, so they look a bit different to normal sheep. They're a bit thinner in the body, and they've got a bit less hair compared with the ones on the rest of the farms around here.
So I happen to be a massive cheese fan, and I'm hoping to come out here with my husband. My children love cheese as well, so we'll come out one day and have a look and see what's on offer. But tell me, what have we got around us then? Because this is the spot where you make the cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're just a small sort of family business. So as you come in, you can see the cheese maturing in our maturing room. So that's the Coralin, the hard sheep's cheese. Up at the back you can see cheese that's just been freshly made over the last few weeks, so it's not got any kind of mould or rind on it. And then we turn it a couple of times a week, so you might see people turning the cheese and rubbing them down. And the cheese sort of lives in here for around about a year before we sell it.
A year, really?
So yeah.
What kind of cheese is this?
So this is Coralin, which is a hard sheep's cheese made a bit like cheddar, but with sheep's milk, obviously. So it's got a sweeter flavour.
This isn't the only cheese you make?
No, so we're probably better known for blue cheese, Lanark Blue, and we also make a goat's blue as well when we've got enough spare milk. We make lactic goat's cheeses, a sort of fresher cheeses. We're just starting kidding just now, so we've not got any right at this minute. But
if people wanted to come and visit and try out the cheese, what would you say they can? Because there's a shop over there, isn't there? You can.
Yeah, that's right. So over to the left-hand side of the buildings, we've got a fridge where you can kind of help yourself to the cheese. So it'll be the most sort of seasonal and. Here we are.
Brilliant.
And then you can ring the bell.
Oh, to get the attention.
If you can't see anybody, because we're often busy making cheese. So.
Hi there.
Yeah, and Angela's here. And she might bring you a bit of cheese over to taste.
Well, that would be amazing. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. But so what we've got in here is it's a wee space with some big, massive fridges, obviously keeping the cheese all fresh. So you would just come in here. You've got your honesty box.
We've got an honesty box. We can take card payments as well, but obviously you have to ring the bell to get Angela or somebody's attention. And then if you just open the fridge, today we've obviously got Lanark Blue and Bigger Blue at the top. And then we've got Tinter, which is probably you won't find anywhere else, but we make it here. It's called after the hill, which is it's about 5 or 6 miles away, and we can see it from the kind of over towards the west. Then we've got Bonington Lynn, which is similar to Coralin, but it's goat's milk. So here's Angela with the cheese for tasting.
Here's Angela with the cheese. Excellent. So what is this?
Lanark Blue.
Lanark Blue. Okay, let's have a wee taste of this then. Wow, that is really good. Well, I'm a blue cheese fan, but yeah, I know exactly. This whole thing wouldn't have worked if I wasn't a blue cheese fan. That is really good.
My dad started making cheese in the early 80s. Yeah, so I'm the second generation.
Wow, of cheesemakers, fantastic.
Yeah. We've always been diversified, yeah. We bought goats coming up for 3 years ago, and so that just helps us so we can make cheese all year round because the sheep are so seasonal. So we bought 100 dairy goats from Yorkshire.
Wow.
So that's been the new thing, I suppose, and that was diversification in itself.
I'd love to meet some of these hard-working animals that make this, this lovely cheese. So can you show me around a wee bit?
Yeah, so if we just go around the corner, between the sort of cheese buildings and the farmhouse.
Okay.
So through here we've got the goats.
Oh wow! So there are the goats over there.
The goats down on the right here. One's having a goat scratch there on the scratcher thing.
Is that a scratching machine?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! I think we need to take a closer look at the scratching machine.
So these ones are all pregnant actually and are due in 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, you can see the yellow brush. It just rolls round the back of them, and they can just stand and.
I really would like one of those for myself.
To get a good back scratch.
Can you send me the link, please? So there's about what I can see in front of me. This is actually a really picturesque vista. On the left-hand side of this massive, but really old-style, traditional-looking barn. There's about, I'd say, 40 goats there.
So up here we've got, there was a couple of kids that were born yesterday afternoon, so I can show you them.
Amazing, I'd love to see the kids. So again, on this side of the barn, it's just like, there's just hay everywhere. This is like a kind of a cartoon version of what you'd expect a farm to be like. The tractor up ahead, there's some more goats on the right-hand side. They're all very quiet, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite. They're always quite peaceful. They're quite calm animals, especially compared with the sheep. They like to take things in and take their time.
Hello, everybody. I've never felt so watched in all my life.
Oh, no, they're keeping. There's one of them that was born yesterday that's just having a wee sleep just now.
As newborns tend to.
You sometimes get one of the. Because there's other ones that are pregnant, they sometimes try and steal the other babies as well. So
I never knew goats had the reputation of being baby stealers. Well, this is an absolutely beautiful place that you have here. I mean, it's crazy to think I just had a little bit of cheese, but the layers and layers and layers of process that goes on behind that, obviously starting with the animals. Yeah, I'll definitely be back.
Oh, thank you. It was lovely of you to come out. Thanks.
What's your website?
It's erringtoncheese.com.
I'm quite excited about this one. This is stop number 3 for me, but sadly it is pouring out the heavens and it's pretty blustery, so I can't spend much time outside. But that's okay, because here there are a few interesting indoor things to try. So I'm going to go and meet Jenny now, who runs the place. Hi, is it Jenny?
Hi, I am Jenny.
Hi.
Welcome to the Wee Farm Distillery and Steak and Still Farm Shop. We're in Climpy, which is a village just near Forth in South Lanarkshire.
It wasn't too hard to get here. I just put it on Google Maps and off we went. But I wasn't expecting this. It kind of sprawls out as you come round a corner. I've just parked up in the car park and we're standing in front of this beautiful building.
So it's a traditional farmstead, and it was a former milking farm. We've been in here for 5 years, and we've converted it into a holiday cottage. We've got Distiller's Cottage, which is a beautiful stone building with a hot tub and barbecue hut, so you can come here for your holidays. We've got gin on tap as well, which is a great attraction for everybody. We've then got Steak and Still Farm Shop, and we produce our own beef and lamb. We've got cheese and everything to go with gin and snacks, everything for the weekend, everything for a treat. And then next door to the farm shop, we've got the Wee Farm Distillery, and we make our own gin and vodka in there.
Well, I think that should be the place that we start, don't you?
That's a good starting point, definitely.
Right, let's get inside. The rain is coming down sideways, no exaggeration. The cows and the donkeys don't seem to be bothered though.
They're quite happy.
This is a gorgeous wee space. You've got a cupboard absolutely brimming full of different coloured gins. You'll need to tell me about that. And there's a bar here. I think that's probably a tasting bar,
Yes,
which
absolutely.
is music to my ears. And then you've got this lovely piece of machinery over here. Tell me about this. I'm assuming this is how you make the gin.
Yes, we started in March 2018, and as first generation farmers we thought we can't keep just being beef and sheep farmers, so our next passion after the kind of meat side of the business was gin. So it was a very natural thing to get into, and we learned the ins and outs of it. We sourced a still, and we've got a 4 metre by 4 metre stone byre that used to have cows in it, and we converted that to be our distillery.
This is what we're standing in now, though, yeah?
Yeah, yep. So it's probably one of the smallest commercial distilleries in Scotland. And people love seeing the variation. It's not what they expect. They come in and expect big, massive bits of machinery. And what we've got is a really petite 50-litre still. It's absolutely beautiful. It's my pride and joy sitting there. And when that still's running, it smells amazing. The flavours of the gin and all the botanicals as well. So it's a very simple setup, and we use a lot of old-fashioned methods to make the gin liqueurs as well. You can see them infusing with fruits in the jars, and there's always something different on the go.
It does look a bit sciencey in here as well, doesn't it?
Aye, we've got our core gin, so we've got Drover's gin, and we made that to go with steak, so that's quite a savoury traditional gin. We've got Clydesdale gin, which it's the regional one, so it's got rhubarb and apple infused, but it's at 40%. We've got our farmer strength, which is great in a day like this when the rain's coming down. It's 57%, and it'll
57%.
Yes, it'll switch the central heating on. We won silver at Scottish Gin Awards for that last year. So we've got like our core range of gins, and then from that we cut them back to 20% alcohol and make a massive range of gin liqueurs, and there's over 30 flavours at any given time. And we do a great barter for gin for fruit, and we make a load of different flavours of gin liqueurs as well.
And you're working here making the gin, so when people turn up, are they going to see you actually, making the gin and bottling it and using the machinery here, and can they taste it? So many questions.
Yeah, so we open on a Friday and Saturday, 10 o'clock to 4, so that's when we open to the public or by appointment. We also do gin tastings, so people's welcome to come into the distillery and sample the gin, do a bit of a gin tasting, see what their preference is. And they can take in the whole environment. They're sitting next to the still. We talk through the process of making it, and everything's very open door. So it's great for people to see gin production on a smaller scale and a craft scale as well.
So I'm driving, sadly. Okay, so I can't neck a shot, but can I have just to use my nose?
Yes, it's always recommend bring a driver, because we've got so much to offer. Now, our Drover's gin, it's got allspice, pink peppercorn. We wanted to get that flavour pairing with steak so people can enjoy, a good steak with a nice gin as well.
That's what you've just poured me now. It's Drover's gin. It's your core gin.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to give it a good sniff. It definitely smells like gin.
Yes, you just need to get a takeaway.
I just need to get a takeaway. That's exactly what I need to do. It is Friday. Brilliant. So people come in here, they have a couple of wee gins, they're feeling good, and then they go next door to your farm shop. Can you take me through?
Of course, yes, let's do that.
Oh wow, so this is a bit bigger than, to me, straight away what I'm thinking of is really old school shop. It's a bit like stepping back in time with your wooden shelves and the little stalls with all the products, which are obviously made here or connected to or local to here.
Yeah, our starting point it was always the ambition when we got the farm was to produce our own beef. We take a lot of pride in that. We've got native cows and we AI to the Wagyu, so there's native Wagyu beef is what we produce. So that's what you see in the fridge before you. We've just had a beef delivered, beautifully marbled, really high quality local beef, and there's a massive demand for it. We do a lot of pre-orders, and people love the fact that it's grown here on the farm and it's delicious, so that helps as well.
Yeah.
But given that was the starting point was, right, we do gin, we do beef, what else? We can also do lamb as well, but everything to go with it. So we started doing cheese boards, things for breakfast as well, and then we realised that hampers was a really big thing, so all your lovely confectionery, your more savoury side with your crackers and relishes and chutneys, things like that. All your mixers for your gin as well, so it evolves all the time. We're finding we're a kind of one-stop shop for barbecues, so we've got a whole range of seasonings for barbecuing, so people that enjoy cooking, they're coming to the right place because we've got such a range to pick from when they come in. It's like an Aladdin's cave for foodies.
And obviously today is not a day for it because, like we say, the rain's coming down sideways. But if people turn up and it's a nice day, are they able to have a wee look around and see what's actually going on out in the farm?
There's nothing better when someone comes in and they're interested in the farm, because it's part of our job as farmers is to engage people with, where their food comes from and what we do, and we're very, very proud to show people what we do. We just ran our Meet the Lamb events over Easter, and we done that. It was a free event, but we raised a lot of money for charity through doing that, and it was lovely to see people, so interested in the lambs and getting that involvement firsthand with them. It was great. So I hope we can do more of that kind of Meet the Livestock events, and it's definitely something we can grow on.
It was great to see some customers turning up just now, but obviously heading straight to your distillery.
Yes.
We're back outside again in the driving rain, but before I let you get back to work, can you tell me how people can find out more about what you've got on offer here? And that's the gin distillery, that's the farm shop, and it's also this lovely 3-bedroom cottage, distiller's cottage, that people can come and stay in, and it looks beautiful. I've just had a look around. How can people find out and more and book?
You can go on our website, so it's www.theweefarmdistillery.co.uk. We're also big on Facebook, so we post a lot on Facebook. I'm not so good at the Instagram, but no, if you look at the Wee Farm Distillery or Steak and Still Farm Shop, you'll see everything that we've got to offer on the farm as well. So just before you go, I thought it was quite cool you just got to smell the gin. So if you would like to take this wee sample pack and have a try of our gins and see what you make of them.
Thank you so much. What we've got here then, there's 3 tiny wee bottles in a lovely packaging.
This is our main gins. We've got our Drovers, our Farmer Strength and our Clydesdale gin.
That's my Friday night sorted. Thanks so much, Jenny, that's really kind.
No problem, thank you.
Well, here I am. I'm finally at the other side of Glasgow now. I'm at Kilmacombe on the west of Glasgow, and really excited about this one because I can totally imagine bringing my children here. They're 2 and 4 because they do farm tours here, and this would definitely interest them. So let's go and find out a bit more. Hi, you must be Wendy. Pleased to meet you. I'm Leanne.
Hi Leanne, yeah, pleased to meet you. I'm Wendy and welcome to Kilmacombe Farm Tours.
Brilliant. You know, we've got land all around us here. I've spotted some sheep away in the distance there. What do you actually graze here? Because it's a 3rd generation working farm, isn't it?
That's right, yep. So we're mainly sheep up here with a little beef. So we have 420 ewes lambing this year, and we have 24 beef cows who are just at the point of calving at the minute. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, we've just very recently decided to open up to the public.
Yes, and that's why I'm here.
Absolutely, and it's going like a fair. We can't complain. We opened on the 2nd of April to the public to try and educate people as to where their food comes from. We started with the lambing experiences for 3 weeks, so 14 people could come in the morning and the same in the afternoon, and just find out exactly what happens behind the scenes on a working farm, and just some reality checks as to why food prices are actually increasing due to the production costs. So people were really, really appreciated understanding what goes on behind the scenes of a working farm. So we've now finished the lambing experience and we're moving on to our new venture, the farm trailer tours.
Can you tell me just because what we're seeing in front of us now, the sheep are all moving, I can see the buggy coming up behind them. What's going on here?
Yeah, so my husband James is just gathering some of this year's ewes and lambs. It's North Country Cheviot sheep that we have, and they're a hill breed, and he's bringing them in just to check everything's okay and to worm them. Yeah, they make a wee bit of noise as you move them. We've got one working collie dog called Flash, and she's about 6 years old, so she's also assisting my husband James to bring these sheep in.
Great. Flash is such a good name. There's no point in me, just little old me jumping in the back of that trailer, but I understand we are going to be able to jump in the buggy and go to the first leg of the tour?
Yeah, so a typical tour, you would be here for 2 hours. No 2 tours would be the same route. Depending what time of year you come will depend on what you actually see on the farm at that point in time. We're a working farm, so if we're calving, you will see what's going on in the shed at that point. If we're making hay or silage, you would see the crops being cut and turned in the fields or baled. And if we're working with livestock or dipping sheep or clipping sheep, that's exactly what you would see.
Great. I am really distracted, impressed by the site in front of me. It's little old James with so many sheep and lambs, and there's a couple running off to the side there being very disobedient. Or is that where they're meant to go? No, that's not where they're meant to go. Right. Get back! Where's Flash when you need her? But this has given me a really lovely insight. So Wendy, this is the buggy then. James is finished with it and we can jump in.
That's right, yeah. This is a Polaris Ranger, so it can tow up to 14 people in the all-weather trailer, and we're just going to head on up to the old railway line.
Brilliant. Okay, let's do it.
So this is us arrived at our first stop, the old Grouse railway line. It's only 2 metres wide, and it was in use up to the mid-1970s. It was built by Lord Linlithgow, the shipbuilders, and it was his men post-World War I, to keep them in employment, that actually built the railway line.
Cool. So what would we have seen back in the day? A bunch of guys in trailers with guns, is that correct?
Yeah, so Lord Linlithgow used it to entertain his clients. So it was a grouse shooting moor, and the rangers from Clyde Muirshiel actually recorded bags of up to 1,800 birds back in the day. So it was heavily populated with grouse, and amongst the visitors was King Edward VIII.
Oh, very good.
So we're going to head back down towards the steading, and just at the side of the steading we've got quite a spectacular waterfall.
Right, let's go and have a look then, thank you. Is this us coming up to the waterfall now then?
Yeah, indeed, we're just actually above the waterfall, but we're going to cross above the waterfall in the Polaris just now, and we'll
I was just going to say, it looks like you're going into the river. You are going into the river. You actually
sit tight. We are going in.
We are actually in the river. Okay.
Yeah, and we're through. We're all right.
Excellent. Wow. Let me have a closer look at this waterfall. It's absolutely beautiful. I have to say, Wendy, I wasn't expecting a waterfall to be part of a farm tour. That's quite unexpected, but it's a welcome surprise. Yeah. I'm sure people say that.
It is, it's absolutely stunning. And as I say, it changes all the time, to the point in the summer it can really get very low, and our children at age 10 and 5 can spend a lot of time with a wee inflatable.
Oh, brilliant. Well, this is a really beautiful spot, and I'm glad this is my last stop on the tour, but for anyone who comes along to do the full 2 hours, the far more stops beyond this, but it's a lovely place to finish, so thanks so much, Wendy.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you very much for this episode. Thank you also to everyone who Leanne met on her travels. As well as Kilmacombe Farm Tours, who we just heard from, there was also Gordon and Susie with the Roundhouse at Craigmadie-Muir, Selina at Errington Cheese, Jenny at the Wee Farm Distillery in Forth, all of whom you'll find on goruralscotland.com, along with lots of other farm-based visitor experiences just like them. The members of Go Rural are all consumer-facing farmers. They all work hard to build relationships between rural and urban Scotland, and to build a better understanding of how food and drink from Scottish farms is produced to the highest welfare and environmental standards. And I will always emphasise this in these episodes, how much I take my hat off personally to all of those people showcasing our industry. They're working hard as a shop window on behalf of farmers like me who just don't do that sort of thing. You can find all of the members of Go Rural Scotland on the website, as I said, goruralscotland.com. And we're going to be partnering with that organisation again very soon, showcasing Days Out near Inverness. I'm going to leave you now with our usual reminder. On Farm, this podcast is made by our team at Scene&HerdPR and Marketing. And you can give us a shout. You can talk to us if you need a podcast or help with any rural food or farming PR and comms. So, that's it from me, and bye for now.